All right. Yeah, fun win tonight. Tremendous job by really the entire football team. I thought played very well defensively. Really set the tone there. I thought our pressure up front really, just kind of controlled the game there. Just kept the quarterback under pressure. Helped create some of the turnovers. Thought that was outstanding. And I thought our back end guys really played well off of it, tackled pretty well. Just a really, really, really strong performance defensively. Offensively, had some bright moments, had some not bright moments. Guys did a good job, kind of settled in. Missed a couple opportunities that will go back on and need to be better. But proud of the way we played and proud of the way those young guys, the second and third groups came in and played offensively there at the end. We played a little bit better than we have in some of these other situations that were similar previously this year. It was great win. Awesome to be able to play a lot of guys again. Several guys got some first snaps tonight, which was great. Kind of continue our climb. I feel like we keep getting a little bit better, and that's what we got to keep doing is just keep getting better a week at a time. I know it sounds boring, but it's the right recipe. It's a winning recipe. So, just proud of the win, and certainly was excited to be able to do it back here at home. And hopefully our fans enjoyed the show our guys put on.
Okay, we'll go to questions. Ryan Aber.
Yeah, Lincoln, what'd you think of Spencer's game tonight, both before the injury and then how much was he affected by that? It looked like a hip injury there, especially after halftime.
I thought he played okay. Made some really, really good plays. Had the one bad decision in the scramble situation. He and Hall weren't on the same page on. We were just a tick off. Missed a couple throws, and then had a couple of throws that were really good throws that we just didn't make the play on. So he was solid. Could have played better. We had some more great opportunities out there, but once again, I thought he managed it well. I thought he saw things well. I thought he was in the right place. The majority of the night again. So. It was a solid night. He can play better, but it was certainly winning football.
And just how much was he affected by that injury?
It was just a little sore. I think just trying to get through and finish on his throws, you could tell it was affecting him just a little bit. And then he was able at the end of the game, or at the end of his game, to start to kind of get it loosened back up and started throwing the ball fine again there at the end. So he was fine. Had the game not been out of hand, we certainly would have left him in.
Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Kersey.
Yeah, Lincoln, just generally, are you starting, you mentioned getting better every week, but are you starting to feel like this is a little more normal for Oklahoma, like this is a little bit more of what you're used to, I guess, after maybe some early season struggles?
I don't know. It's just such a general way to think about it. Everything about, this year and every year, every team's different, and the situations you're put in are different. We're certainly climbing and playing better and playing closer to what we felt like we were capable of. Some of that has been, a lot of it's been the team's mentality and attitude throughout the time. Some of it's been, this is as, we're not quite there, but this is as close as we've been to full strength as far as having, a decent amount of our roster available. I don't know. I'm not really used to anything. I just think you try to get better each week with the team that you have, and this team has done that here the last several weeks, and starting to play some pretty decent football.
Gary Murdoch.
Lincoln, the focus now being on Ramondre. What is it about him as a runner that maybe is a little bit different? He seems to be a little bit different than Samaje or Joe Rodney. His physicalness just seems to be something that's his biggest attribute.
Yeah, he's probably most similar to Samaje. That very similar build. Kind of a low, stocky, low center of gravity. Very, very difficult to tackle and wrap up, and then has some big playability, to go with that. Catches the ball pretty well. So he's a good player. He is, and he's a talented kid. I think his best ball's certainly ahead of him, but he's Yeah, he's a great combination. I mean, when you get a guy that's tough to tackle and has some breakaway and catches the ball pretty good, and I mean, is able to jump cut right and left and make great feed. I mean, it's a good combination, and I think too his experience has shown. I mean, I think playing the way he did, playing behind that O-line, a very similar O-line last year, I think you could tell he's played some ball and has improved and has a good understanding of what we're doing.
Thanks, Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
James Hale.
Lincoln, you mentioned the pass rush early in your commentary there, but what's great about it is you're getting it from a number of different spots. You got to be happy because it's spread all over the defense you're getting it from.
Yeah, no, I think we've always felt like that's the best way. I mean, you can at times, now not that it's easy, but you can at times, game plan if there's just one standout and that's the only guy making, sacks or pressures or anything like that. It's a lot tougher when it's coming from a lot of different angles, and it's harder to to know where you want to direct your protection or get a potential double team, and so nowadays, I mean, I think our guys have come on. I mean, I think really kind of following Isaiah's lead and Ronnie's lead, and it's contagious. I mean, our guys all want to get to the ball. They're all learning. Again, I've said it a bunch, but I think we're continuing to be more aggressive in our scheme and really learning and understanding, how we want to play up front, and so no, it was certainly relentless tonight.
Thanks, Lincoln.
Brandon Drum.
Hey, Lincoln, you guys put a lot of emphasis on turnovers last year, obviously still this year. The growth from last year to this year, can you kind of quantify that when it comes to the turnovers and how much, I guess, the team has grown? Maybe the defensive line adding pressure has helped y'all. Can you quantify all that?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have – we've been able to probably generate overall a little bit more pressure than we did last year. And that's always been a part of it. And I think guys are more confident with schemes. Guys are more active. And the reality is, I mean, we've taken advantage of the opportunities probably more than we did last year. I mean, how many? Last year wasn't like there wasn't opportunities. We had a bunch of opportunities that we just didn't make at times, and we've made more of those. We've capitalized more on those, which that's what great defenses do.
Let's go to Keegan Renault.
Lincoln, the last 2 weeks, late in the games, when these games have been out of hand, your guys' sideline's been really engaged. What does that say about this group and how much confidence they have in each other?
Yeah, we're a pretty close team. We've really had to come together, kind of had several of those fork-in-the-road type moments, whether, we're going to crumble up and divide or we're going to come together, and then the team has chosen to do the latter, and I think you see that in those moments. I think they're generally happy for each other when they make plays, and I think they're happy when other guys get opportunities, and I think they enjoy playing this game together. Mm-hmm.
John Hoover.
Hey, Lincoln, I'm wondering what you thought of Jaden Hazelwood tonight, his return, and then I'm wondering what you think he brings long-term to this offense as well as this offense plays. He's obviously a dynamic playmaker.
Yeah, no, it was great to have him back. I mean, he was a little rusty, which is obviously to be expected. I mean, pretty remarkable his turnaround, but he'll get better. It's good to kind of get that first one back under his belt. I thought he did a good job. He will, this bye week will be a great time for him because he can really get a ton of great work on the field, and he'll. No question, he'll continue to become a bigger and bigger factor as we go on.
Kellen McCurry.
Lincoln, a non-football question. The general election was called a few hours before the game started. Do you remember where you and the team were when the news came out, and was the team pretty excited about it?
Yeah, we were. I think at pregame, we were one of the meals. We were either at a snack or pregame meal. We were in our meal room. I don't know. I honestly, had I not seen it, I wouldn't have been able to tell by the reaction of team or players or anybody like that. I think at that point our guys are pretty locked into getting getting ready for the game. But I don't know. I mean, like the whole nation, like everybody's going to have their opinions on it. And again, to me, who won for our guys is not the story. I know it's important to some, probably not as important to others. Maybe it's somebody they did vote for, maybe it's somebody they didn't. I think the fact, again, just of how our team has handled it and become educated on it, and I think that's what stands out still to me right now. And it's never for us been a deal of wanting one person to win or the other. There's never been one bit of talk of that within this team. It has just simply been, let's understand you're right. Let's educate ourselves so that we can, be a good, productive member of society and be able to voice our opinions. And that's all we've ever wanted to be, and that's, as a team, that is all we've ever talked about.
Time for just two more. Let's go back to Kerry Murdoch.
Lincoln, I'm curious what the explanation was on the Buki fumble. I think a lot of us just wonder, like, how does a guy standing out of bounds dislodge a football and not make the ball out of bounds?
Officials were very clear on it. Honestly, it's a play I don't know in all the football in all the years that I've ever seen happen. But they were very clear that you can cause a fumble even if you are out of bounds. Now, if your hand were to stay on the ball long term but anything like that, then it wouldn't. But if it's just a one single action and the ball's knocked out, I don't know the rule. I'm fully admitted. I can't ever remember seeing that happen. So but our officials on the sideline communicated well, and they were very, very sure of their decision. So obviously, I'm sure it'll be checked, but they certainly seem very certain.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And Jason Kersey.
Yeah, Lincoln, coming back to Spencer and the injury, did he want to stay in the game? Did he want to come out of the game? What were the conversations like with him about that?
He was ready to play. I mean, he relies on me for those decisions. So, I mean, as long as I knew he was physically able and feeling fine and ready to play, which he certainly was, then, so it really, at that point, didn't become about the injury. I would have pulled him out at the exact same time I did had he not gotten hit and been a little bit sore. So he was feeling good enough at that point that it was really a non-factor.